recording?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to the... Welcome, everyone, to episode 4 of the Lawnchair Youth Podcast. I am your host, Carlisle Jones. Next to me is my co-host, Zach McCown.
Zach McBrown.
Okay, anyway. Today we are talking about financing and branding. Now, this is a huge part in any production, coming from whether you're done with the video, whether you want to push your videos, whether you want to get your video on something else, you want other people to see it. I mean, it literally is, this can go any way that you want to do it. So the first part we want to talk about, I'm going to say let's talk about, I guess they're both the same. Financing and branding are literally the same thing because they go hand in hand with each other.
Right.
Financing is the money, branding is the getting you out there.
Well, I'd say from my standpoint, it's easier for me to work on a project when I have a name that I'm working on it under. Like, for instance, LCY. I know it's Lawnchair Youth. I have already created a logo for it. I know like the look and the feel that I want for my brand. So when it comes to equipment and stuff that I want to help push my brand, it's for me starting out, it was easier to, this is LCY. Now I need the equipment to do it. But yeah, it could go either way. I have a camera, I have all the equipment. Now I need a name to put that under. Yeah. So it's really whichever one you want to kick off with first.
I think let's go with branding first. So branding can be a couple different ways. Branding can be, hey, I want to create a company, just like Zach just mentioned. We made LCY, or Lawnchair Youth, and we made a company. Then now that we have a company, we can do branding where we put our logo on everything, where we put our name on everything.
Right.
Just to kind of get our name out there to build it up. Yeah. Just like any clothing line, just like how any big corporation does.
Which I think we have an interesting take on that too, because we branded LCY as not a production company. It is formed into a production company. It is formed into what it is. So we kind of have a different take on that as well, versus being like, okay, we're starting LCY and it's going to be videography. It's going to be production. We kind of were able to build our audience months and months earlier and kind of have that audience there when we started video.
Yeah. Which I feel like almost most companies are like that, where they don't stick to just one thing their whole production wise. They there's all kind of ways. I have a video game reference that I can do that's this is a really nerdy reference, but I gotta say it now. I can't just say that and not say it. Like if you're a fan of the game Portal.
Yeah.
Portal, the main character, the reason why he came up with a portal gun was because he was trying to sell curtains to door to door, and it was easier to transport the curtains to sell door to door with a portal. Dead ass serious. Or you can do Viagra, where Viagra is actually supposed to help you with heart problems or heart disease, and yeah, we know what that does. Anyway, back on track. Maybe a little excited now, but their branding can be completely different. You might start like, hey, I want to make clothes, like we did. We were like, man, we want to make clothes really bad.
Right.
It had
and we did.
Congratulations to us. We actually did what we planned to.
Humble brag.
Hashtag. And then we're like, well, let's we'll put it on the music and stuff, and so Carlisle Jones,
music.
Yeah, put on music, just kind of like push it a little bit, and then everything kind of fell through. And then I just came back to revitalize it because I still love what it stands for, what it can do, what it means. Like our name means more than just what a normal brand might mean. I'm not sure, not to diss on any other brands and say that their brand doesn't technically mean anything, but ours has like an underlying tone to it.
Yeah. And it's easy to, once you brand yourself, like be passionate about it, and something that you're not like, oh, this is cool, and then 6 months down the road, you're like, well, I found something else that's cooler. As someone who does a lot of creative projects, I fall into that all the time. And I fell into it with LCY. We did all this stuff, and then I was just passionate about something else, and I created a different project. And Tim was like, he held on to it. Yeah, he's like, hold on now, we had something good here. Let's keep this going. So yes, if you're going to brand yourself, really get something that you're passionate about and that you like and that you will stick with, no matter if you end up doing something else with that name.
Yeah, and with branding, the financial part is always the biggest part of branding, because branding, advertising, all that stuff, almost impossible without having some money backing it.
Yeah.
So, for example, it's hard to sell a product when you don't have any money to make the product.
Right.
The only time that ever works is if you are like already established or you're a cool artist and then you do pre-orders. That's the only time where I see that ever happening.
Too many people fall into, oh, I'm new, here's what I'm going to do, and you get a bunch of hype around that, and then it falls through and nothing ever comes of it.
Correct. But then you're also on the other side where you create, have all these t-shirts, you have all this stuff made, and then no one's interested or no one buys.
Right. I think it's different for videos, though.
Yeah.
I think branding for video work, because really, if you the investment is all of your camera equipment, and the branding is the logo you slap on it and what you put it under. So that's where like advertising comes in and really promoting yourself. Branding wise, I think that's like the big for like starting out. Yeah, like financing is the big ticket.
Yes, because if you don't have any finances, then
the content is what sells your branding.
Yeah, correct. So, you mentioned logo, and that's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on a little bit for this portion of the podcast is creating a logo. I drew like really crappy on a pad. Hey, I wanted it to be a lawn chair, and you're like, okay, and then you literally just found some lawn chair off the internet and then cropped it.
I took a picture of one. My grandfather has those old school ones. That is the logo. Yeah. It's a picture rasterized and thrown through like Illustrator and Photoshop and stuff. Yeah.
With little lines coming out of it to make it kind of look like it's shining, pretty much. And that's our logo.
Yeah.
And then now it's kind of our logo, as you can see on the Lawnchair at the very beginning of this video, or as if you're watching it, it's become my Carlisle Jones logo,
right?
That has my name, where I'm from, and then it has the little chair in the middle. So it's showing the expansion of it. Yeah, but
it's everything that you need right there.
So when you're doing branding, you don't always have to put your logo on everything. But it's important to know when you do something that's very, very big for you or big for your company, that your logo is apparent in it.
Right.
So watermarks, corner of the screen, if it's clothing or a video, beginning of the video, end of the video. In my music videos, I like to put my logo at the end of the video.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like after the music ends and it goes black, my logo pops up immediately, and it makes me have to do less work on the video.
Yeah, you just paste it. Yeah.
So like, I like to put my logo at the end of the video, because as a person that makes content, I hope my video is good enough for you to get to the end of it.
Right. Instead
versus the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
So having a logo that one is good looking. Very first step, which goes into financing. Pay someone to make your logo unless you already have the talent and the ability to create your own logo.
Right. I think what makes a great logo is the versatility of that logo. You could take our logo and you could print it on a t-shirt, black or a white t-shirt. You could have it embroidered on a hat. You could put it on as your profile photo. Stickers, or you can slap it on the end of a music video, and it's a consistent. You're not having to change the colors to match or fit. You're not having to change the proportions or redesign it on everything that you put it on. A great logo can be put on anything and immediately be recognized. Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Which I think the
Nike,
chair.
Apple.
Yeah, and I think the chair is that. Like my favorite logo is the chair, and it just says youth underneath it. Like it's so. I was so proud of that. It's so simple, but it's.
We don't even use that ever either.
Nah, that was the old like clothing stuff, but
that would be kind of a dope embroidery shirt if we did like the lawn chair and then youth underneath it, like embroidered in the middle.
Yeah, it just says youth. Yeah,
that'd be kind of sick actually. But that's expensive.
That
Dropping this summer.
Hey, we got money now, boys. So yeah, a logo is super important, and exactly pay someone to make your logo unless you have like the software and the ability and the creativeness to make it yourself and make it look good.
Now, me personally, I was lucky enough to be friends with Zach because me and Zach are a dynamite duo.
Humble brag.
When it comes to work, because Zach is good at everything, but Zach is incredible with doing design. So Zach is actually the one who made the lawn chair. He's the one that made my new logo. He's the one that makes logos for some of these rappers. I actually need to get you to make a GBF King one because so I can start plastering that on every video.
Yeah,
but like these logos mean so much more when it's the same one and you don't have to keep coming up with creative stuff every single time. Like, hey man, this is the logo. It's like a band.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if Metallica had a different font.
Yeah.
It would not be the same band at all.
It's branding, and it's to build a brand, you want something that people can immediately look at and recognize that's more than just text at the beginning of a music video.
Yeah. There's a lot of levels to getting to that point of how you do it. Do you want to do it as just an image? Do you want it to be text? Because I know some people that have text logos, and whatever fits best for your style. And then I would say even for branding, I would want you to create something that means something to you, and it has a deeper meaning to it. So, for example, we're Lawnchair Youth. What does Lawnchair Youth stand for? I consider us. The meaning is saying that we are the lazy generation. We're just laid back. We chill. We don't do anything. We don't focus on our futures. We just do whatever. And then our slogan is "Far from the lazy," which I think is an incredible logo.
Mm-hmm.
Our slogan,
yeah.
Far from the lazy, because we're not actually the lazy generation. So we are a contradiction to the Lawnchair Youth. But that's a super deep thought into our brand and our logo.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, oh, you see the lawn chair, you immediately know, that's Carlisle Jones's work. That's what Zach McCown and him helped create.
Mm-hmm.
That's like this huge thing that they wanted to push. And then now it's come to the point of, hey, oh man, that's Carlisle Jones's logo.
Exactly.
That,
exactly.
I know this is going to be a good video.
Yeah.
I knew that was him the whole time.
Yeah. Which not necessarily logo-wise, but branding and promoting yourself, it's perfect. We've got LCY that we brand the videos under, but it's shot by Carlisle Jones. Like the way that you have pushed and promoted yourself aside from, but also with LCY, it's like they're one and the same, which is what you want, but it's also different. Because LCY, we put out all kinds of different stuff, but when you look at Carlisle Jones, well, it can be music videos, it can be interviews, it can be, all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
So I think there's a distinction there that's important if you want to run your own brand, but not be your brand.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's just, and that's something you have to learn too. Like you don't just wake up one day and you're like, I bet there's a lot of people that do videos and they don't even put their logos into videos until 20 videos in, and they're like, oh man, I forgot to put my logo in all these videos. I don't know how are people going to know that I shot them?
Yeah.
If you watch a Cole Bennett video, like I say, he's going to pop up in every episode. Cole Bennett, he has this little lyrical lemonade at the very bottom of every video. Yeah. It's exactly his video.
Yeah.
And his intro doesn't even have his logo. It just says directed by Cole Bennett.
Yeah.
But he has this little logo at the bottom. And, that's great and all, but he likes to make a stamp on there, and that's kind of like what you need to do with your content. So now we're going to lead on to another part of branding, and this is something that I just got new into. Is I'm really big now into the Instagram branding. So there's a lot of levels to this, but I've just realized that by spending a little bit of money, just a tiny bit of money, like not $20, not $30, not $50, spending like $3 a day on a new video that you do, and then put it into the right cities and the right demographic, can give your videos more views, give your channels more views, give you more subscribers. It can get you more views on Instagram. It can take you to a new level. When you're making these artists that you're doing videos for way bigger, and more people are getting more exposure for them. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, more people are going to come back and they're maybe go see all your other content, and they're like, man, this guy's the next Cole Bennett,
Right.
It's just like,
which is one of my key points, is invest in yourself, and not, I mean, you're starting a brand, everyone wants to make some money, but that you can't only be focused on making money and not spend any on it, on promoting the work that you're actually doing. Like, some could view it, well, I'm putting this money into promoting this guy's music video. Like, it's his video, he's going to get all the exposure. Well, yes, he's going to get exposure from that video, but you're also going to get exposure because you edited that video. Like Tim said, they're going to come back to your page, whether that be YouTube or Instagram. And then 2, that's good business for the artist, because not only did his video pop off and get a bunch of views because of you, he's going to come back to you for another video because he knows it's going to pop off again. He knows that you're putting in the work to help push him.
Yeah.
Which goes back into the relationship factor we talked about last episode, is building those relationships.
And I feel like now that I've learned something new. That's a great thing. Like, last week I never did any of this ever, and now this week I did it, and man, if you saw my channel versus last week versus now, you would be like, this is a completely different person.
Yeah.
And all I did was literally one simple thing, and it benefited me so much. It got me, I went over 300 subscribers. I mean, I sound like an ad, but like
humble brag.
But it's crazy. The views do show, and the people are there supporting, and I can in real time see it all happen. Mm-hmm. And it's gotten me to this point where now, whenever I'm shooting music videos, I can say, hey, the video's $300, extra $20, and then I'll have it, I'll fully promote it for an entire week and get it to thousands of people. Mm-hmm. I can say that efficiently now.
Right.
And like, it's a new sales pitch.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, hey, extra $20, I'll have it on full promo for a full week. It'll get more views, it'll get more attention. I mean, who's not going to pay $20 more to get hundreds more views, more comments, more exposure?
Yeah, exactly. So you can work that into, you were initially investing this money yourself, that now you're selling to the artist, to your new client, and it's like it's paying for itself.
Yeah.
It's all from what you started from, initially taking the chance, spending a few extra dollars to see where it goes.
Yeah.
You just never know.
$2 a day for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you might get 50 views.
Another thing that goes into that is consistent content, I would say. Being active with this community that you're growing, and being active with the artists that you shoot, being consistently in the eye of people that are watching your content, whether that be fans of your content or people who are looking to come to you for future business. And it's just, we live in that time now where, algorithm-wise, it is more beneficial to you as a up-and-coming brand to post stuff regularly, like consistently, maybe not every day, but a few times a week, whether that be on Instagram, running polls, or you're posting Instagram stories, or you're uploading promos to future or past videos. I know when we were first coming up, it's not like we had all these artists coming to us that we could post stuff every day. So we would do highlight reels of, okay, we did 4 months of music videos. People's already seen them. It's been out for 4 months. But here's like a short little 2-minute video of highlights from that. It's just content for people to watch and know that, hey, you're still around.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than starting a brand and hyping it up and then being off the radar for like 4 months and then coming back and be like, oh, hey, I'm still here. You know, you lose your audience that way.
Yeah, and I would and I would say I'm incredibly consistent.
Yeah.
Now, also, I'm consistent when posting videos and keeping updated. But for example, oh, coffee's here. But being like very consistent with, like, you're putting out the videos, but let's go more into the social aspect. Cool, you're putting videos on YouTube. Maybe your YouTube's not popular. Maybe you're popular on Facebook or Instagram.
Right.
Hey, post on your wall a new video. Hey, on Instagram, me personally, I only post a new video or photo or something like every like 2, maybe 5 days. But I'm updating my story every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And my story gets 100 to 200, views. Not a lot.
Right.
But 100 or 200 views can really mean so much in retrospect to, it just takes one person watching my story to really show that to someone else and do everything.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you. Which I think that gets easier as you get more work. You can't just start out and automatically have like different artists that you're going to be posting every week or every 2 weeks. Like, you're going to have dry spells. But I think that goes back to what we talked about an episode or 2 episodes ago, is putting yourself out there and reaching out to artists that might not know about you or your work, and not like blocking yourself into this paywall that nobody else can buy into. Especially if you have an artist that you want to work with, you can work with them on price because like, one, they have like good hits, or that you can make a good visual for their project and put it out that will, in the long run, benefit you more than them. So yeah, like starting out, you're not going to have stuff that you can just post all the time and post videos every day or whatever.
But that's why you make extra content. So for example, do I just make music videos? No. We're doing a podcast now. Podcast is to help.
You gotta want to do that too.
Yes, which is
you can't force it.
It's 100% a creative itch.
Yes, which luckily enough both of us have.
But I feel like if you're gonna start trying to do music videos and you do not have the drive or the itch,
it's so hard.
It's not something you want to do.
Being someone who edits videos, that's all I do is edit videos, whether it's music videos or podcasts or anything that we've ever done. I love doing it, but there are times when even today I'm like, Tim, I've got a 30-second clip I got to edit and I just don't want to do it. And Tim's like, just let me do it. And then he did it and he edited it for me. And now I'm like, well, as someone who just all I do is edit, there's times when I don't want to edit. So if you get locked into a deadline with an artist who needs a video back, and then you're just like, don't have that drive to do it, maybe videography is not something you should pursue. Yeah,
it happens to me every once in a while, but it's not because I have like a issue with editing. It's just that I have other stuff in my life going on that I want to put time into also. And I think that's another part of branding that's super difficult, is making time for branding.
Yeah.
Because branding, you can be financially stable and have all these ideas, but if you don't have time to push your brand,
right,
then you sometimes, I would say, you don't even have a company.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you just have all these ideas. Or you may even have products or even music videos that the artists have come to you have gotten, but other than their group of people that they're sharing it with, that's when you really don't benefit anything from it. That's when you're primarily shooting it for the paycheck. And it's like, okay, I shot the music video and there it's out. And if anybody comes to me, they come. But if you're wanting to start a business, that is not how you do it. You can't expect business to just come to you.
And if you want to know what the best branding is having your customers tell other people and post about you all the time. If you go to my page or my story, you'll see three reposts today that I've done of people saying, dude, Carlisle Jones is really like helping out and like trying to do that. Like,
not every artist is out there looking for that. Some artists, they just want a music video. You did it, good job, and they're on to the next one. I know we keep repeating ourselves, but relationships has a big thing to do with that. Videography, especially if you want returning customers, you got to build that relationship with these people, because one, if they pop off, their word of mouth talking good about you is going to help you pop off. And if you already have that relationship working together, it's a win-win. I mean, if you blow up, they blow up, and if they blow up, you blow up.
Yeah, and imagine.
But if you're not in it more than just a paycheck, then you're not going to benefit anything from that.
Yeah, I mean, you had to you got to love to do it, and then two, you have to prove to the people that you're working with, they're paying you to do a job, and if they can't even trust you or enjoy and really like strive on the experience that you're trying to give them, then they're not going to come back. They're not going to tell other people about you. They're going to, even the video is incredible if you're hard to work with.
Right, yeah.
It hurts your brand. Yeah. It hurts you as a person. It hurts anyone trying to give money to you to help you do stuff. And money's important and all, yada, yada. But like, there's like, imagine all the people that are millionaires that are super lonely and sad, like Jim Carrey and Robin Williams, R.I.P. Like, for example, people that have plenty of money, plenty of exposure, millions of people love them, but at the end of the day, does money matter? No.
Right. The personal enjoyment isn't there.
Yeah, so that's a whole deeper thing.
But yeah, because to play devil's advocate, it's hard to dismiss that and be like, well, I mean, that's okay for right now because I'm raking in all this money. Like, I'll be happy while you're just grinding it out trying to make all this money. But then when it's all said and done, one, do you have a project that you're really happy with?
Loving the people and trying to build something incredible for yourself and for them is going to push your brand to the next level and above everyone else.
Yeah.
And then this is going to lead now to the financial side. Put your money into a place where it can potentially be made back. Two, put yourself into a way to where you are not hurting trying to create your craft.
Right.
This is the stuff that's just extra. This is the stuff that you've prepared. This is the stuff that you want to not have to feel like you're at a loss by using it. So, like, for example, all of this Instagram money that I've been spending this week, I've like tripled my money because it benefited me. In the off chance that something did happen from it, you would never have known if you didn't try.
Right.
So, you try and you learn. If you get knocked down, you get back up again. Kind of just how it works. And branding's that same way. How many companies are like this? Steady incline. They're from beginning to end.
Yeah, none.
Everybody
has a downfall.
Boom, 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 boom. What's the best computer? Has Mac always been the richest company in the world? No. Has HP always been the best computer? No.
We talked about before in gear, like if you can't afford a really awesome lens or even like a camera, shop around your local city. There are several places you'd be surprised that rent camera gear. And if not, you can rent camera gear offline for dirt cheap. They will mail it to you and have paid shipping back. You just got to go on, put in your...
we sound like an ad.
I'm just saying, like, for someone, if you're really passionate about getting into it and you don't have the finances to really get into it, there are alternatives to help kickstart that. It's not like, well, I don't have $6,000, Tim, to buy a camera, and I don't have $400 to buy editing software, and I don't have $200 to just spend on ad revenue. Well, you don't need it.
Go to rentgear.com. Sadly, it's probably a real website.
Probably. Like, invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself, but be responsible. Just think about, like, are these investments smart investments?
Yeah. Hey, if I can put a little extra money on this video, and it could potentially make it more profitable, make it better for me, get more people seeing it.
Right.
And that's going to be the biggest thing coming from this episode of the Lawnchair Youth Podcast, is finding your niche in how to push your company, push your image, put your loyalty, your respect to your customers, and then it benefiting you. And trust me, it's only started benefiting me for 5 months. And we've been talking about this whole podcast. I've been starting doing this stuff since 2012.
Right.
And man, we're me and Zach in the hole for
A lot
5
of
years,
yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
But
it's building that foundation, which we've talked about so many times. It's, you don't know. That's why everything, branding, and it all comes back to, like, if you're not passionate about it, to stick with a brand. If you're not passionate about it, to invest the money. If you're not passionate about it, to stick with it when it doesn't pop off. And if you're not passionate with it when it falls through and then you want to do something else with it, then don't get into it. Don't do it in the first place, because you're just going to waste your time, you're going to waste your money, and you're going to come out very disappointed if it doesn't go your way.
because me, like I was saying before, me and Zach lost a lot of money, but did we have fun the whole entire time we did it?
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, us all the way from Zach losing feeling his finger from printing our t-shirts and hoodies,
Buddy, I'll never forget that.
to me still having a bucket full of LCY shirts that no one ever bought. It's part of the game, and you will never be able to really truly understand how to play if you don't ever get off the bench. Well, this has been episode 4 of the Lawnchair Youth Podcast. I've been your host, Carlisle Jones, with my co-host, Zach. You can find all of these episodes and all my videos and work on Lawnchair Youth on YouTube. And
if you have any questions about what we talked about this episode or any of our other episodes, we will be in the comments below. So shoot those to us if you got any questions.
And then we will be doing another episode. This is the last episode that I'll be planning for on the next one, episode 5, which is going to be time management and workflow. So that one's going to be a super short one, just kind of like how this one was, about 20-30 minutes. And we're just going to talk about pretty much the best way to get all of the projects that you currently have. Hopefully from what listening to this podcast, it has gotten you some work and help kind of build your repertoire a little bit.
Fancy.
So, it's the Starbucks. So hopefully it's gotten you some work, and now we're going to help you manage that flow and make sure that you can really be efficient. And that's going to go a little bit into what we talked about with editing and then also with how you shoot the videos. But thank y'all again for listening to this episode. Cue the music.